Hello, welcome to our unit rate quiz review. This is if you want to retake it. We're going to go over a few problems and get you ready. All right, so this says Lisa uses a table to keep track of her babysitting charges. Fill in the table and circle. All right, so let's see what we're working with here. I notice that for a half hour, she makes $5.75. So for a whole hour, isn't that just double a half hour? It's a lovely arrow. So if I double the amount she earns, use your calculator, you would get $11.50. All right, go ahead and keep filling it in. So I would take a 1 hour, $11.50, and add on for another half hour. That would get me $17.25. All right, 2 hours would be double my 1 hour if that works for your brain. There's lots of ways to do this. That'd be $23. All right, keep going. You might notice that it's also going up by $5.75 each time. You should have gotten $28.75, $34.50, and $40.27. Nice job. And then it says circle the unit rate. So the unit rate, we always get it down to one single unit. So in this case, it would be 1 hour. It's this one. Her unit rate is $11.50 per hour. All right, let's go on to the next one. Next one, you know what helps anytime we have a word problem? Some labels. If it takes 7.5 hours to fill a 6,000-gallon swimming pool, how many gallons can be filled in 1 hour? So I want that one in the denominator. So I'm going to make sure I put the time down in the denominator. Here I go. So the time is in hours. And up top, we're dealing with gallons. All right, so let's set up some information here. I have 6,000 gallons going in that pool. Takes 7.5 hours. And I want to get it down to 1 hour. So let's solve for that. You can, there's two ways to do it. You can put an X there and cross multiply, but we don't even have to do that. You could just do 6,000 divided by 7.5. If you do that, you should have gotten 800. But this is a word problem, so I'm going to write it as 800 gallons per hour. Nice job. All right, let's talk about cookies. Here we go. Price per cookie. We're going to set up some ratios. We're talking money per cookie. So let's do this. I'm going to set this up, and we like to put money on top. We're going to get it down to 1 cookie, so cookie goes in the denominator. All right. Let's use the information. I have 15 cookies. Costs $1.15. That is insane. There is no way it costs that little. But we're going to go with this make-believe bakery. All right. Go ahead and divide those, and that will tell you how much 1 cookie cost. All right. How much does 1 cookie cost? You should have gotten 0.08. So I wrote it out nicely for you right here to kind of help you label things. You would write 0.08 cents or per cookie, 8 cents per cookie, or $0.08 per cookie. That's the kind of labeling I want to see. All right, let's do the next one. Here we go. Still, money per cookie. In this case, Bakery B is $2.25 for 25 cookies. These must be like miniature cookies. Maybe they're like little baby cookies, right? All right, go ahead and divide, because I want to know how much 1 cookie will be at Bakery B. All right, if you divided, you should have gotten 0.09. That's not the answer I want because this has words in it. So I'd like you to put $. 0.09 per cookie. It's 9 cents per cookie. See how we're labeling things? We're amazing. All right, and then, which is the better buy Well, it is definitely by 1 cent. Bakery A is a little cheaper. All right, let's go on. A unit rate has a denominator of, oh, we know this, 1. That is not a pen, though. That was a highlighter. 1. Yeah. All right. Let's look at number 6. Ms. Groller has 3 boys and 9 cousins. Write a ratio of boys to cousins. All right, so we usually write it Y to X. And they said the word ratio. Ratio is a fancy word for like a fraction, right? There's actually 3 ways to write it. So I'm going to do the Y over the X, 3 over 9. And then it says be sure to simplify your ratio. Wouldn't that be 1/3? But I don't like this because I have not labeled it. So make sure it is 3 boys per cousin. 3 cousins. There. 9 cousins, 3 boys. All right. You could also write it 1.3 or 1, 2, 3. All right. We're on the home stretch. You got this. Here we go. Let's go to the last 2 problems. Fractions. Please don't use a calculator on these. This is kind of practice back to our very first unit. This line tells us to, well, nice arrow again, Ms. Shaw. Divide. So let's rewrite it. 14/5, and this time divided by, we're going to write it this way, 7/2. All right. You remember how to do this, 14/5. Keep that. We're going to change it to multiplication and do the reciprocal, which is now 2 over 7. See, reciprocal? All right. Then you can multiply straight across and simplify it. All right. I don't want to do that because I love to cross cancel. So I know 7 goes into 7 once, 7 goes into 14 twice. Then I'm going to multiply straight across and get 4/5. If you didn't cross cancel, that's okay. You can simplify and then get 4/5. All right, last problem, and you are done. We have to add these fractions. In order to add them, we need a common denominator. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this using a common denominator. You're going to look for the least common denominator for a 4 and 3. What do they both go into? 12. There you go. And then I would ask myself, what did I do to this 4 to get to 12? What did I do? Here, I'm going to do this better. There you go. What did I do to this to get to 12? Well, on this one, I multiplied by 3. 4 times 3 is 12. On the next fraction, 3 times 4 is 12. So what you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. So I should get 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. Ta-da! They have a common denominator. I can now add those. 17, keep the denominators the same, 70/12. 17/12 is it. You could make it a mixed fraction, but this can't be simplified any other way. You did it. That is your review for the nice, easy unit rate quiz. You got it. Well done.